Great. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sunday, the 10th of October, 9th of October in the USA and North America and South America. It is with great joy to be presenting you the second class of the Sri Lalitha Sahasranamam for beginners. It's always a tongue twister. And we have the wonderful presence of Dr. Lakshmi to take us through these classes. Welcome to those who are listening to the recordings because you're in different time zones. And may the wisdom be shared. It's very early in the morning for me, but it's just I was talking to Dr. Lakshmi and just saying how much the sustenance of this chanting is bringing and the yagam. So we've had 4 days at Sripuram of the fire puja. Dr. Lakshmi is going to take us through from day 5, which is the next yagam starting on Sunday. So welcome everybody from around the world, and welcome Dr. Lakshmi.
Om Namo Narayani, everyone. Welcome to this Lalitha Sahasranamam class, and it's a joy to share what I know, and the time is so limited, so we will constrain it to what can be contained in this time. You can always question me later offline if you need any clarifications or explanations. So we start with the Guru Gayatri. We pray to the spiritual teacher. We pray to the cosmic mother, and we pray to Ganesha when we start anything. So today's class, each class is a new beginning for that. So we pray to Ganesha, and then we'll say Sahana Bhavatu, which is like we learn and share and grow together in strength, and let there be no animosity or disagreements or disharmony within us. And then the dhyanam, the meditation chants for the Sri Lalitha itself. And whatever you know, you can join in. The others, you can just listen to it and soak in the mantra. And then we'll go into the Sahasranamam. We covered the first 4 in the first class. We'll be doing the 7 each week. So we'll be going from 5th to 11th of the Sahasranamam, names for Lalitha, today. And then a brief question and answer as well. Let us begin. Om Jnana-rūpāya vidmahi Shakti-hamsāya dhīmahi Tanno Shakti-amma prachodayāt. Om Jnana-rūpāya vidmahi Shakti-hamsāya dhīmahi Tanno Shakti-amma prachodayāt. Om Jnana-rūpāya vidmahi Shakti-hamsāya dhīmahi Tanno Shakti-amma prachodayāt. Om Sarva-mangala-mangalye Shive Sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva-mangala-mangalye Shive Sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarva-mangala-mangalye Shive Sarvartha-sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sindhuraruna vigraham trinayanam manikya maulis purattaranayaka shekaram smitamukhim apina vakshoruham panibhyam alipurna ratna chashakam raktotpalam bhibratim saumyam ratna ghatastha rakta charanam dhyayet paramambikam. Dhyayet padmasanastam vikatasitavadanam padmapatrayatakshim hemabham pitravastram karakalitalassat hema padmam varangim sarvalankarayuktam satatam abhayatam bhaktanam ram bhavanim Shri Vidyam Shantamurtim Sakalasura Nutam Sarva Sampat Pradatrim Sakuna Kunkupa Vilepanam Malika Chumbika Kasturikam Samanda Hastekshanam Sashara Chapa Pashankusham Asesha Janamohinim Arunamalya Bhushojjvalam Japa Kusuma Bhasuram Japa Vidau Smaredambikam Arunam Karunatarangitakshim Dhrutapashankushapushpabhanachapam Animadhibhiravrittam Raham Ityeva Bhibhavaye Maheshim. Om Namo Narayani. We will start with the fifth name of Sri Lalitha, the Universal Cosmic Mother, who has millions and zillions of names, and among all that, these 1,000 have been condensed, and each one is so profound. And the fifth one is, I will just say it once and then give the meaning and then say it slowly, then you can repeat after me. The fifth name for Sri Lalitha in the Sahasranamam is, there is an addition of Sreem. In any of the scripts, you will not find the Sreem. This is a special introduction of the Bij mantra Sreem into each name by Sri Shakti Amma, who is Narayani herself. And the Cosmic Mother can introduce what she wants into her name. And Sreem is the totality of that. All that auspiciousness is the Bij for Mahalakshmi, with all the auspiciousness. So the Cosmic Mother wants to give, along with the names, even more auspiciousness. That's how much she wants to give her children with her love and her abundance. So the fifth name, Om Shreem dēvakārya-samudyatāyai namah swaha. I'm saying it as the priests will say in the yagam. Again, in the scripts, if you go and see, you will not find swaha. Swaha is added when we offer anything into the fire pit of the yajna, the yagam, the fire ritual. And when we pour the ghee, we are offering the mantra, and we are offering whatever, if it is rice or whatever auspicious things we are offering into the fire. And the importance of offering it with this, as we say, swaha into the fire, is Agni is the Sanskrit word for fire. And each one is considered a deva, a deity. And Agni Deva, his wife is Swaha. So when we offer whatever along with the ghee and the mantra into that, the devas, the divine, doesn't have the physical form we have, so they can receive it in the energetic form. And it is Agni Deva, the fire god, and his wife Swaha, who are converting or transmuting what we offer from the physical form into the energetic form to offer it to the deity. So we invoke and say Swaha when we are offering it in a yajna. And what this line means, name means, is Om Sreem. We are invoking that auspicious Sreem. Dēvakārya. Deva is the gods, the deities, or just the divine. And here the dēvakārya. Karya is all actions. Karma, our actions, comes from the karyam, karma, they have the same root. So dēvakārya, all the actions, activities of the devas. Samudyatāyai, when you see a line above, you extend that vowel sound. Deva A is again with the line above. Karya A, Karya line above. Samudyatāyai, the A again has a line above. Samudyatāyai, namah, namah, prostrate to you with hope. And then swaha, I offer it to you. So we have Om Sreem dēvakārya-samudyatāyai namah swaha. Can we all repeat now together? Om Sreem dēvakārya-samudyatāyai namah swaha. We'll repeat again. We'll do 3 rounds of this. Om Sreem dēvakārya-samudyatāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem dēvakārya-samudyatāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem dēvakārya-samudyatāyai namah swaha. We move on to the next name, the 6th. Om Sreem udyadbhānu-sahasrābhāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem udyadbhānu-sahasrābhāyai namah swaha. The meaning is Udyadbhānu. Bhanu is another name for sun. Like in other languages, in Sanskrit, for the same thing, there are many, many names. Like the Cosmic Mother has many names, the sun has many, many names. I'm sure there is a Sahasranamam for the sun god also. And Bhanu is one of the names. When we say Udyadbhānu, Udayam is like the rising sun. And the rising sun, we describe her in so many splendors. The rising sun has a reddish hue, and one of the descriptions of her in the physical form is the goddess Lalitha, the cosmic mother, has a reddish hue. So it is like the Udyadbhānu, the reddish hue, the blazing reddish hue of the sun, rising sun. Sahasrābhāyai namah. She has the splendor, the radiance of 1,000 rising suns. That's one of her names. And among all these, why specifically this? Because there are explanations. Each form has its physical realm, it has its subtle realm, And then it has the supreme realm. And in the physical realm, her color is described in the form of the red radiance. I will say it again slowly, and then we can repeat. Shreem udyadbhānu-sahasrābhāyai namah swaha. Again, in Sanskrit, we will understand as we go along. The D is not pronounced as the, it's not udyad, but D is pronounced as the, like is in the book, the flower, the house, that sound comes when we use the D, see the D in the English script. In the Sanskrit script, the sound is the. So udyad bhanu, BH is the H sound comes. If there is a B, there are 4 pronunciations to the B. If there is a D, there are 4 pronunciations. There are subtle variations. There's P, P, B, B, and it's Th, Th, the, Th. So each of them has 4 subtle expressions to that. And Bhanu is like the 4th one, the B with the H sound to it, Bhanu. And the D is like the 3rd of the Th. We can practice, it'll come over time. You can't master it all right now, but I'm just giving a explanation to you now so you understand. Shreem udyadbhānu-sahasrābhāyai namah swaha. Sahasra means 1,000. So we have Sahasranamam. Lalitha Sahasranamam is the 1,000 names. If you are into yoga, you will know this is Sahasrara. The 7th chakra on top is Sahasrara. It is the 1,000-petaled lotus. So Sahasra, you have, if you're familiar with Vishnu Sahasranamam, you may have heard, it's 1,000 names of Vishnu. And here, Rabhāyai is the radiance, the rays from those suns. She's the splendor of the rising suns with its 1,000 of radiant rays. I'll say one slowly and then you can repeat. Shreem udyadbhānu-sahasrābhāyai namah swaha. You can repeat by yourself. Try once and then I'll give you that time. Then we'll repeat together. Shreem udyadbhānu-sahasrābhāyai namah swaha. Shreem udyadbhānu-sahasrābhāyai namah swaha. Shreem udyadbhānu-sahasrābhāyai namah swaha. We will go to the 7th name. Sreem catur-bāhu-samanvitāyai namah swaha. The C here is pronounced as ch, a ch in Sanskrit. If you find the script C in a transliteration of Sanskrit into English, the C pronounced as ch, like it's in church, ch. It's not katur, it is chatur. And the T is not th, it is th, like the 10th, th, 5th, 6th, the th sound comes. So catur-bāhu-samanvitāyai, T again is th sound. Samanvitāyai namah swaha. Chatur is 4. You might have heard of Chaturthi, which is the 4th moon phase, and it is very auspicious for the Ganesha deity. And Vinayaka Chaturthi comes again, it's the 4th moon phase you'll get on both the waxing moon and the waning moon. Here, Chatur is 4, Bahu is the arms. She has 4 arms. Catur-bāhu-samanvitāyai namah swaha. Samanvitāyai can have several explanations. One is the one who has all the auspiciousness, and the other could be she has so many of each one, what she holds in each hand brings in that balance and harmony and beauty into existence. And we offer our oblations, our obeisance to her. Namaha is I bow down to you. So I bow down to you, the cosmic mother, who has 4 hands and all the auspiciousness that you bring with you. Om Sreem catur-bāhu-samanvitāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem catur-bāhu-samanvitāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem catur-bāhu-samanvitāyai namah swaha. You can repeat and then we can say together in your mind or aloud where you are. Om Sreem catur-bāhu-samanvitāyai namah swaha. We will move on to the 8th name. It is Om Sreem rāgasvarūpa-pāśādhyāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem, Mother with all the auspiciousness. This auspiciousness gets repeated. It's not redundant, but it is glorifying because words cannot contain, explain, or convey that grandeur of what she has to offer. So the repetition is for ours to understand the depth of her greatness. Om Sreem rāgasvarūpa-pāśādhyāyai namah swaha. Raga means desire, and always there is this duality in the mind phase of desire, craving and aversion. You might have heard of the 2 things. Here ragam is like the craving, the desires, not the craving aspect of it, but the desire. It could be a gentle form, it could be a stronger form. And that form, rupam is form. Swarupam is the inherent form within oneself. Ragasvarupa, she beholds that inherent desire, that aspect of desire, that quality, that mental quality of desire in the form of Pāśādhyāyai. Pasha is the noose. You know when you can, if you know the cowboys, they have the noose they throw on to catch something and get hold of it. And there are the pasha noose comes for many things, to throw it onto something and latch onto it, catch it. And she holds in her left lower hand, she holds this noose. If you see her form, there'll be a loop of rope in her hand, and that loop of rope is the noose, and it represents the desire which is like captivating the mind and holding the mind. The mind without any thoughts, desires, ideas cannot sustain by itself. It needs something objective to hold on to. So the desire is something that it can hold on to. So she represents the desire in the form of the noose, pasha, the noose in her hand. Om Sreem rāgasvarūpa-pāśādhyāyai namah swaha. Again, here there is a new element in the paśādhyāyai. Above the S, there is a apostrophe, a line, a slanted line, and you pronounce that as s. It is not the strong sh. It is not the s of s. It is in between. It's s, like treasure, s in the treasure, the light s. Pāśādhyāyai, the dha is the fourth dha, which is the strongest dha. Om Sreem rāgasvarūpa-pāśādhyāyai namah swaha. If you feel comfortable, you can join with me as I chant it 3 times now. Om Sreem rāgasvarūpa-pāśādhyāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem rāgasvarūpa-pāśādhyāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem rāgasvarūpa-pāśādhyāyai namah swaha. We move on to the 9th name. Om Sreem krōdhākārāṅkuśōjjvalāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem Krodha. Krodha is anger, wrath. And why you would associate all these different emotional states coming into the mother. She is like the controller, or everything pervades in her. And the krodha, the aspect of the krodha, the anger, ankusha, akara is like the worldly things. So once you come into the worldly realm, all these different aspects manifest. And krodha, anger, is one of the aspects. And ankusha is the goad. It is, if the elephants, the mahut, the one who takes care of the elephants, mahut has a curved metal rod in his hand. And if at any time the elephant is going out of control, to bring it into balance, centered, he uses the ankusha, the goad, to bring it into a state of balance. And she has the ankusha, the goad, in one of her hands, and the left lower hand. And this is to keep in check all the krodha, the anger, that aspect of in that creation. So it is there, but it also needs to be brought into balance. The desire in balance, the krodha, anger in balance. She has all these different weapons to bring that into a state of harmony and balance, not negated, but keep it in its place under control, because everything has its place in creation. Ankushayai, ankusham is the goad. Jvalayai, she radiates and shines, so that shining, radiance has many, many words in Sanskrit. Jvala is that the radiance from the fire. So, Om Sreem krōdhākārā-kuśōjjvalāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem krōdhākārāṅkuśōjjvalāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem krōdhākārāṅkuśōjjvalāyai namah swaha. So again, kro, dha, ka, ra. The end with the dot is ng. So krōdhākārāṅkuśō, the sh is not sa or sh, but it's sh. Kuśōjjvalāyai namah. Om Sreem krōdhākārāṅkuśōjjvalāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem krōdhākārāṅkuśōjjvalāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem krōdhākārāṅkuśōjjvalāyai namah swaha. When you're saying the N with a dot, it's like NG, like going, ing, the NG of the going, ing. Karāṅkuśōjjvalāyai. You can understand it, use it that way. We go to the 10th name. Om Sreem manōrūpēkṣu-kōdandāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem, Mano is the mind, Rūpēkṣu, the form of the mind, Rūpam is form. We saw earlier another form also, Rūpam, Swarupam. Here, manōrūpēkṣu. The S with the dot below is the sh, the sugar, that sh. And the S, K comes sh. So Lakshmi will have that K, S with the dot, the sh. manōrūpēkṣu-kōdandāyai namah swaha. The form of the mind in the form of Kodandam is the bow. And she uses, in one hand she holds a bow in her hand, and that bow is of sugarcane. And when you see a sugarcane, it reminds you of the sweetness. So she holds the mind, the sweetness of the mind as a bow. So it's yielding, it's not rigid and stiff. The bow is a bit flexible. So that sweetness of the mind with that flexibility, she holds in one of her hands. Om Sreem manōrūpēkṣu-kōdandāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem manōrūpēkṣu-kōdandāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem manōrūpēkṣu-kōdandāyai namah swaha. You can repeat once with me slowly. Om Sreem manōrūpēkṣu-kōdandāyai namah swaha. We move on to the 11th name. Om Sreem Pancha, the in with that, you have that is so there is a tilt to that, so it goes Om pañcatanmātra-sāyakāyai namah swaha. Pancha means 5. We have pancha bhutas, many things. Pancha in Sanskrit is 5. Pañcatanmātra, these inner subtle elements, and she holds these 5 subtle elements, and these 5 subtle elements are touch, hearing, sight, smell, taste. These 5 senses are the 5 subtle elements. Some explain it as the 5 panchabhutas, but here it is how these senses are again. She uses these last 8 to 11 are describing her weapons, what she's holding to keep the mind in harmony, our thoughts in harmony, the desire, the anger, and the sweetness of the mind, not to get scattered in other things, and the 5 senses that are the inputs that are coming into us, how to keep these. She controls it. She is the totality of all that, and all these senses are contained in her, and how she brings it all into us. So her each name is potent, like it's not apart from the physical description it gives. These have their representation in the energetic, in the mental realms of how it's bringing life together to live in that state of being in the state of the Divine Mother, bringing us together into all these different perspectives that we go through every day in our lives. It is part of life. So pañcatanmātra-sāyakāyai namah. She holds these 5 elements. They are in her reign in her. She is supreme over them. Om Sreem pañcatanmātra-sāyakāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem pañcatanmātra-sāyakāyai namah swaha. Om Sreem pañcatanmātra-sāyakāyai namah swaha. We'll say it once more slowly. We are in the 11th name. Om Sreem pañcatanmātra-sāyakāyai namah swaha. You're offering our 5 senses to her in the yagam, praying she is that supreme of the 5 senses, can pray that she brings our senses into the state of harmony and balance, which gives us that peace that she is. We will conclude the names for this session today. Shall we move on to the question and answers? Do we have time?
Thank you so much, Dr. Lakshmi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lakshmi. I'm very, for those on looking at the recording, I'm very sorry because we've got many messages of people who cannot get into the Zoom link today. So I'm going to change the Zoom link for next week. So that's, but thank you so much, Dr. Lakshmi, for sharing this wisdom. It's one extraordinary. So thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions? Please put them in the chat box.
Meanwhile, I will answer one of the questions from last week. And I was mentioning there are certain things you can offer again repeatedly to the divine, like the gold flower. If you've been to Sripuram, if you do that gold archana, you will be given a little golden flower, something like this. Not exactly this one, but something like this. And gold is something you can offer repeatedly to the divine. Like you're giving a gift to someone. Once you've given, you don't take back the gift and say, I'm gifting it to you again. Once you've given, it's given, right? And so, but gold is something you can repeatedly give to the divine. The other two I mentioned were for tulasi. Tulasi is the holy basil. It's so special, especially when it comes to Vishnu. It represents the chest region. It has so many things to it. It's called holy basil for that reason. It has so many special auspicious things to it. The holy basil, the tulsi, can be repeated. Once you've offered it, even a single leaf, you can repeatedly offer it to her. And the other is the bilva. Bilva, in Tamil, we say bilva tree. In North, they say bilva. B or B, bilva. Both are the same. In fact, in Sri Suktam, there is a mention of the bilva tree. The bilva tree was brought into manifestation by the tapas of Mahalakshmi. And it is very, very, very auspicious for Shiva. If you go to Sripuram next time, Narayani Pidam, you can observe that right next to the Narayani temple and between the Swayambhu temple, there is a big tree, and there is, in the open space, there is a Mahalakshmi out in the open space, and she is seated beneath the bilva tree. It is a bilva tree, and it has 3 leaves. And it has 3 eyes. There are many explanations to that. And the bilva tree is so, so, so special. So these are things that can be offered again. If you have one bilva tree, you can keep offering it every day. It's said that every day when you offer your prayers to the divine, the mantra itself is an offering. You offer flowers. If you don't have offer flowers, it's winter, you're traveling, you can have one golden flower with you when you travel. You can keep offering that. If you have a few tulsi leaves, you don't have garden, you have no space, nothing, you can keep offering that tulsi leaf. If you have one or few bilva leaves, you can keep offering that every day to the divine. Yes. Yeah. I don't hear you, Natalie. Are you muted?
Sorry, yes, hello. There's a question from Lucy saying that she's curious about the process of the yagam at Pedam and what is done before the 1,000 repetitions of the name for the day, and does Amma come or do Aarti every day? So the actual yagam is taking place at Sri Puram. It's at the entrance where there's the huge gate, and on the left-hand side is the director's office. So it's at the just really at the very entrance there. Amma came for the first time just to do the conclusion of the yagam, and otherwise the other days Amma hasn't been present because Amma's actually doing the Abhishekam at the same time that the Lalitha yagam is going on. So the Abhishekam is happening at Pedam and the yagam is happening at Sri Puram. And so there's about, how many priests are there? There's about 5 priests chanting on the ground, and then there's about 3 priests offering into the fire, and everybody's chanting, and the 5 priests are on microphones. And then at the end of the yagam, after this, so they do a 500, then they have a break, and the priests drink some hot liquid or milk, I think it is, and then they do the other 500, and then at the end there's a whole ritual of offering a sari which has been drenched in ghee. So it's a silk sari, and every night a different silk sari is offered, and it's wrapped around a piece of bamboo, and it's like sort of pulled down very slowly, and it enters into the fire in a very, very slow manner while they're all chanting. And then there is the final offering, and that's, yeah, so.
Yeah, every day there is the Purna Hudi, that is the Purna is complete, Ahudi is the offering into the yagam. So if you go and watch in the last few minutes, they will have many, many plates. Each is auspicious things of different things that is being offered to her at the end, along with the sari and that little bundle, which again is a bundle of all auspicious things. And she is totality of auspiciousness. We as children are offering all that's auspicious we can get and offer into the yajna in out of reverence and love for her. We want to give the best to her. So this is the Purna Hudi that is being given, offered in the yagam at the end.
And the next question is, what are the pronunciations of B?
B. Actually, it starts with pa, pa, ba, bha. So the 4 are pa, like we are all familiar with pa, pa, ph, pa, and then ba, we are familiar like bus. Even though in our English alphabet it's P and B, in Sanskrit, if you're familiar with Hindi also, pa, pa, ba, bha are the 4 in that per series.
Okay, so we don't have any more questions and we're running out of time. So yes. Thank you so much to everybody.
Thank you, everyone. See you again.
And thank you, Dr. Lakshmi, for sharing the wisdom. It feels such a privilege to be able to listen.
It's a joy to share Amma, the cosmic mother, and her, everything about her. It's grandeur and yet very simple. And the one thing that's most important is listening to it with love, not with the mind, because the mind can get into the intricacies of this. There are different commentaries, different commentators with different perspectives. Just go with that love. That is enough.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. If you would just like to turn your cameras on, I'm just going to stop recording. Thank you so much. And for those who are joining in on the recording, and again, sorry for those who have difficulty getting into the class today, there will be a new link next week.